Loki Season 2 is the ninth MCU series on Disney Plus, and it stars Tom Hiddleston as Loki. And this series picks up where we left off at the end of Season 1. So in this one, we have Loki who finds out that he is time slipping through time, and something is going on with the TVA, and then we have to hunt down Sylvie and then trying to find a way to solve these problems that's been going on. And now we got Loki Season 2, and most likely this episode. So I gotta tell you, when I was watching episode 1 for the first time, I was like, oh my god, this episode, this episode was amazing. Now, Loki Season 2 is one of my most anticipated Disney Plus shows of this year. Now, since we had Season 1 back in 2021, and now 2 years later, we finally got Season 2. Now, when I heard announcements about Season 2, I was really excited and somewhat worried about Loki Season 2, probably due to other MCU projects that we had that were completely, like, A-okay. Some are good, some are okay, and some are meh for most fans, and myself included. Now, with this, after seeing the trailers, I was still excited and somewhat worried about Loki Season 2. Now, all my worries have, slipped away. And now my excitements are here. Loki Season 2, in my opinion, is fantastic. This episode is fantastic as well. Do I think Loki Season 2 is really good as Loki Season 1? Yes. Do I like this episode? Yes. Do I think this TV show might succeed with Loki Season 1? I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, I think with Loki Season 2 is the best, is probably one of the best. Loki Season 2 is one of the best, it's one of the best MCU projects that we ever had from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, even though, yes, I actually heard that some people have said that is Loki, or some people might ask, is Loki Season 2 gonna save the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And I'm like, I don't know. And it turns out, in my opinion, Loki Season 2 saved the MCU, saved the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, every time I watch Loki, I found, since Loki got his own TV series, Loki, in my opinion, is more of a spinoff to the Thor movies, because I can tell it looks more like a spinoff to the Thor movies, because due to the fact that Loki has been in the previous Thor movies, mostly since the events of the first Thor movie back in 2011. And now those years later, after those couple of years later, we finally had, after those years later, Loki got his own show and got Season 1 and Season 2. And these got season 1 and Season 2, and this TV show seems pretty awesome. Seems pretty awesome as Season 1. So I guess that's pretty much it for that. So let's talk about the actors and the characters themselves. Starting up with is Tom Hiddleston as Loki. Now Tom Hiddleston as Loki is really good in this episode, and I'm sure he'll be doing really good in these other episodes. So Loki in this one has found out that he is time slipping, which means he's time slipping to this time, to another time, mostly in the past and the present. And I don't know if he's going to time slip in the future, which we'll have to wait and see if that's going to happen in probably at least one of the episodes, or 2 or 3 more episodes. I mean, I don't know. But this whole time slipping thing that Loki is trying to figure out why he's time slipping, and he's trying to find a way to solve this problem. And he wants to, and I think he's going to be helping out the TVA to find Sylvie and hunt down Sylvie and try and find a way to solve these problems. And also, Agent Morbius will be part of the team as well. But in this episode, Loki has time slip in the past, and he goes back to the present, then he goes back to the past, and he goes back to the present. But then he's trying to find a way to stop this whole time slipping thing from happening to him multiple times. This whole time slipping thing that he's going to go through, probably at least the next episode and probably the following episode, he might go through that until he finds a way to fix that problem. But I'm sure we'll probably explore how Loki is going to stop this whole time slipping thing from happening. So I guess that's pretty much it. And Tom Hiddleston as Loki is really good in this episode, and I'm sure he'll do really good in this and the rest of the other 5 episodes. And I think that's it for Loki. And next up is Sophia Di Martino as Sylvie. Now Now Sylvie, on the other hand, I mean, I think she was in like one scene this episode and gone. That's pretty much it. Now, I'm not sure what Sylvie is going to do in the rest of the other 5 episodes, but I think we'll have to. I'm sure we're probably going to see that in the next episode, in the following episode after that. But with her and Loki having awesome chemistry in season 1, I think we might see their chemistry once again in the next. I'm sorry. I think we might see their chemistry in the next episode and probably throughout the entire series. Now, I'm not sure what Sylvie is also going to be doing something else, but we'll have to wait and see until we get to the next 5 episodes to see what else is Sylvie going to be doing. Is she going to be hunted down by the TVA, by Loki and Agent Morbius? And I'm sure they're both going to team up together to solve these issues. So Sophia DiMartino is really good as Sylvie. Well, mostly, we'll probably see her in the next episode as well. So I guess that's pretty much it. And I think that's it for Sylvie. And next up, excuse me. Next up is R. Wilson. R. Wilson as Agent Morbius. Now, Agent Morbius has found out that Loki is time slipping. He's trying to figure out what is going on with Loki. He's like, wait, why are you time slipping? Where'd you come? Like, why are you time slipping to here? Why are you disappearing? He's trying to figure out what's going on. So he goes to an old friend of his named Ouroboros, or Obi for short, is trying to find a way. What can we do to fix Loki and get him back to normal? But in this episode, Agent Morbius is all like, whoa, where'd you come from? Like where'd you come from? And then he keeps disappearing. He's trying to find out why is Loki time slipping and how come he keeps disappearing back and forth on what's going on and what can we do to solve this problem? And that's it. So I'm sure we're going to explore a little bit of that. Hopefully they'll probably explain the whole time slipping thing in the next episode. And I've kind of lost track a little bit with the whole time slipping explanation in this episode. I think I'm going to rewatch the rest of the episode. I'm going to rewatch this episode again and see what I'm missing. But like I said, I think with R. Wilson is really good as Agent Morbius, and I think that's it for Agent Morbius, and I can't wait to see him in the next episodes. And last but not least is Ke-Huy Quan. Ke-Huy Quan, who's introduced to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as his character named Ouroboros, or Obi for short. Now, I have never ever heard of Ouroboros at all. But I'm probably gonna look up this character and see what this character looks like from the comics. Now, Ouroboros, or Obi for short, is an old friend of Agent Morbius, and they probably known each other for from what I heard, they said like 1,000 years, and I said, well, that's a long time. That sounds like a very, 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 very long time. Known each other for like 1,000 years, that's a long time. But because of that, I don't know anything about this character. I think the only thing I know is a little bit that I think he fixes things, he builds things, or he probably like invents things, or mostly just doing both. But I'm probably in my opinion will probably explore what this character Ouroboros will hopefully does. Is he going to help Loki, the TVA, Agent Morbius, and Sylvie? Is he going to help them complete this mission? Yes. And I think we'll have to wait and see. I'm probably going to wait and see what this character's personality, what he does, and what are his hobbies, or what he builds, or what he invents or fixes. I mean, like I said, I don't know anything about this character, but I want to explore more of him in the next few episodes. But in this episode, he's actually introduced in this episode, and I think he did a pretty good job. Ke-Huy Quan is really good as Ouroboros, or Obi for short, and I think that's pretty much it for him. So I guess that's pretty much it for Ouroboros, or Obi for short, and that's it for the actors and the characters themselves. Now, with this episode, I want to say the visuals do not disappoint. Now, I think there are like at least one action set piece, or maybe, I don't know. But with this visual effects in this episode, some visual effects scenes are fantastic. They do not disappoint. Now, out of the other visual effects that we had a couple of MCU projects that we had before, there was some visual effects scenes I liked, some I didn't like, and some that could have been better. But this has not disappointed. And the other visual effects in a few more episodes, I'm hoping they'll succeed with these visual effects, which kind of worries me and a lot of MCU fans. Because I'm sure with the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been struggling, with the workers who work for the MCU has probably struggled with visual effects from the past previous MCU projects, like movies and shows here and there. But the visual effects in here, I'm hoping they'll be as good out of the other few. Since the other few were in the MCU projects, did not do pretty well. Or some I liked, some I didn't like, but in this episode, in season 2, hopefully they'll be as good. Now, the action sequences, I'm sure they're going to be as good. I really love the action set pieces. That I think with the action set pieces are going to be as great. And I'm probably going to see what the final battle in the last episode looks like. Now, with this episode, on the other hand, I really like the fact that this episode was able to pick up where we left off of season 1. Yeah, to pick up where we left off of season 1, and because of Loki is finding out why he's time slipping. Why he keeps time slipping in the past to the present, to the past to the present, but is he going to time slip in the future? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think he's going to time slip in the future, but we'll have to wait and see more episodes. But in this episode, he time slips back to the past, back to the present. He keeps disappearing here and there, to this location, to another location, to this location, to another location. And with the rest of the other episodes, I want to explore more. I'm probably gonna, in my opinion, we'll be exploring more of what these other characters are gonna do. What can they do with the TVA and Loki and amongst other characters? I want to see what they're gonna do with this whole He Who Remains character that we seen in Loki season 1, like the end of season 1. Like, what are we gonna do about this whole He Who Remains guy, or what this variant like what are we gonna do with this whole He Who Remains guy, or this Kang variant? But I'm sure we'll have to wait and see in the next episodes. But in this episode, Loki does explain what's going on. And I think there's a moment that it might set up Avengers the Kang Dynasty or Avengers Secret Wars, or both projects of any kind. But I'm really happy that this episode was able to succeed. And I'm hoping the rest of the episodes will hopefully take its time. I don't want these episodes to rush. I want these episodes to take their time so we can know exactly what's going on. But I'm sure this episode has took its time to see what's going on. But with this episode, with the next few episodes, we'll just have to wait and see. But I guess with Loki season 2, in my opinion, is really good as season 1. But with this episode, on the other hand, I'm gonna say this episode really made me proud. Made us proud as Marvel fans. I love season 2 of Loki. But I guess that's pretty much it for this episode and the show for Loki season 2. Like I said, we're going to be getting the next episode, and we're going to be getting the following episode, and we're going to be getting the other few episodes to see what's going on and what can they do to get things back to normal. To TVA, Loki, Sylvie, Agent Morbius, and Obi, hopefully getting things back to normal. So I guess that's pretty much it. That wraps up for Loki season 2, and I think that's pretty much it. Nothing much else to say, so be sure to like, subscribe, press notification button, follow me on Instagram, comment down below, and I'll see you on my next video. Thank you for watching.